Lionstv, this is a little bit of a Monday Roundup show. I know I did one on Friday, but lots has happened since then, and mostly positive news. So we're going to start the week by looking back on a few things that have happened and progressed over the weekend, and hopefully I can bring you some daily videos or some news of some signings later on today. And we're going to start with the Bermondsey Burke Fleming. He will wear the number 10 shirt this season. I did say on social media on Friday, welcome our new number 10. Some people saying, he's not number 10, Mason Bennett is. No, they've taken it back off Bennett. Get back in lane, Benno. You'll probably be injured after about 2 weeks anyway. And you can wear the number 22 shirt. Fleming asked for it. That was one specification that he wanted if he came to the club, and I'm sure that's a minor. We could definitely give him the 10. On the subject of Fleming, I did leave his first name out there on purpose. Is it Zane Fleming or is it Zion Fleming? I think it's Zion Fleming. Let me know in the comments. I'm still not sure, but it's spelled Z-I-A-N. So I'm saying it's like Zion the Lion. Zane would be Z-A-N-E. And it is puzzling me, and it is bothering me. And I've, obviously clearly enough to put it in a video. And while we're on the subject of our new number 10 and record signing, I watched the extended interview that he did with the club. Really, really good. His English is brilliant, by the way. And just when you think you couldn't love the man anymore, he talks about the celebration, the big boy celebration. Look at them guns. And where it comes from. And it, as I said, just when you think you couldn't love him anymore, it originates from, he's a UFC fan, and that was his celebration, of course, that Nate Diaz did when he beat Conor McGregor. It's a signature celebration from Diaz, and I'm sure that you're going to see lots of this, or hopefully you're going to see lots of this throughout the season, because we need goals from him, and I'm sure that he's going to deliver. Finally, on Fleming, interesting one. He said his preferred position is a cam, number 10, in behind a striker or strikers. We don't really play that, do we? And we bought a lot of players now similar. I think, look, Burke's going to come in the door. I'm going to get into that in a minute, as is Honeyman. So, with Bury and Bennett, they're very, very sort of across that line there, just in behind a striker. They can all play in that region. So I'm wondering if Rowett's going to change the formation, or if he's going to try and put square pegs in round holes. But look, Fleming can play up front. He can play, listen, he can play goal if he wants. That's how much I love the man. Let's move on. And we're moving on to Daniel Ballard and Afobe. I put so many Afobe videos out, and he's not even a Millwall player. Although, as we said, it does feel like him and DB are, after last season's exploits, and both did really, really well at the club. And look, this is the thing, as I'll get on to Ollie Burke in a minute. Things in football can change, whether it be down to agents, whether it be down to a player, personal terms, managers being on holiday, as Gary Rowett was. That's when Mason Bennett nicked the 10 shirt. Changing circumstances, whatever it could be. There is reasons, and, I'm a fan channel. I put it out that Burke was signing for Mill. I got shit for that. But when you see, Sky Sports and this one and that one and London News Online saying Daniel Ballard is going to be joining Burnley and Vincent Kompany, you believe that to be done. Afobe is going to be joining Club Bruges. Personal terms agreed. For whichever reason, both of those deals have now broken down, and their players are back on the market, which is fantastic news for us. I mean, if you're a player, you've obviously agreed to go there. I mean, Afobe was definitely personal terms agreed. Ballard was still subject to a bid, and it's been agreed, and they're going to work out personal terms. I don't know why these moves have broke down, but it just shows you, as I said, things can change in football. And as a result, both those players are now available. I still strongly believe we need another centre forward. I love Bradders and Tanto coming to the forefront this season. However, Tanto has picked up a couple of knocks at Sutton. Bradshaw has just come back from a UCL, wasn't it? Not an ACL, a UCL injury, but previously has done his ACL. Don't know, I point over there, it's not over there. But anyway, yeah, look, so I still strongly believe we need an out-and-out centre forward. If I could get Afobe to be that man, 100%, I would go back in for Bennett. I think he'll be the easier of the two to convince to come to the club. The issue you've got with Ballard is, okay, Burnley only bid 2 million. We get that. We could probably bid 2 million. I thought it'd be a lot more than that, if I'm honest. Try and get Ballard in, build for the future, build a team that's ours. And then, you will definitely 100% sell Ballard on for a profit in 2, if you're lucky to keep hold of him for that long, 3 years. The issue we've got, there's definitely other interest from lots of other clubs. And it's just the budget, it's the wage budget, the wage structure. We can say, well, there's your £2 million, as probably will 4 or 5 other clubs. When it comes down to the fucking dollar, we ain't going to have, wage-wise, what he wants. If he wants 20 grand, we ain't going to pay it to him. Whereas other clubs wouldn't think twice. Some of the so-called bigger clubs in this division with bigger structures. As we said, West Brom finished below us. Ended up doubling Jed Wallace's wages. That hurts a little bit less now seeing that photo, doesn't it? I believe so. After the Bermondsey Burke camp was signed. So both those players were destined for Burnley and for Bruges. Neither of those transfers are now happening, and they're both back in the game. Can we sign either of them? I'd like to see them both sign, if I'm honest. What do you want to see? Let me know in the comments below. Gary Rowett, speaking to London News Online this morning, said he expects a very busy 7 to 10 days for transfers in, and he's hoping to get 3 or 4 players in over that time. Let's make no mistake, one of them is going to be George Honeyman. It is going to be deal done very imminently, and I will put a video out for that when it happens. The other, I believe one of, to be Ollie Burke. Now, as I just said, I've covered the Ballard and the Afobe things, and things can change in football. I don't know what's going on here now, and it stinks of Peter Ondinwengi, whatever his name is. Remember when he was the guy that drove down, didn't he? Where did he drive from? He drove from West Brom to somewhere else and just tried to sign himself to a club. Last night, Ollie Burke, Instagram story. I swear he's deliberately getting me at it and some of us. But the suspense is killing us, OB. Just get it over the line. It pans round on his Instagram story in his hotel room, and he's in the Docklands. I can tell you why I know he's in the Docklands, because as it pans round, the apartments there on the water with the fucking curved roofs, I built them. White zinc. Not many like them. I did that. On top of plywood, a little bit of Tyvek underlay. Anyway, surprised he's still standing. Nonetheless, he's in a hotel in the Docklands. Now, you wouldn't be there unless you was a Sheffield United player, unless Sheffield United are doing their pre-season on the Isle of Dogs. So, Ollie Burke is on that plane, and he is in Ireland as we speak. I don't know why he's undercover. I don't know what the suspense is all about, but I will be amazed if Ollie Burke isn't one of the players that Gary Rowett is alluding to, and he will be a Millwall player this week. Otherwise, well, I haven't got an hat. I'd eat my hat. And just finally, before we wrap it up, I just mentioned it there. They are on a plane. They are going to Cork, the Emerald Isle, for their pre-season. They'll be there now. There is no games. There is one in-house game. That would probably have been about an 8 aside. I'm not even lying, unless we can get a few more players through the door. But as I said, I think Ollie Burke's there. George Honeyman will join him today or tomorrow. He's in London right now doing his medical, and I'll stick that video out as and when. But not long now, not long left at all. We need to get these players in. I know we've taken our time, and I'm happy with what Rowett's done so far. I said let's be patient, and I've learned to be patient with him. And at the minute, I'm quietly confident that things are definitely on the up. Please subscribe to Lionstv. Let's hope I'm back on screen later bringing you some transfer ins. Come on, you Lions.